So as we all know, and something that I always preach to you guys, is never buy cards when a set is in pre-release or has just come out, because the prices always tank, especially on day of release, because so many people hit cards on the market, everything just comes down. And we've seen that set after set after set after set. It always happens. But Temporal Forces, that's been a bit weird. Most of the cards in this set have done exactly what they should do. However, there are two cards in this set that have done the complete opposite. They have actually gone up in value 3-4 times the amount in the space of a day. And I'm here today to explain to you exactly why that happened, so that I can hopefully warn you guys against making a big mistake in trying to buy either of these cards, because there's a few things going on with this that, yeah, you definitely need to hear, guys. So let's jump into it. All right, yes, so we are going to be talking about cards in Temporal Forces, and the main ones that we're going to be focusing on a little bit later on in the video are Iron Crown, which has seen a massive price rise, and Raging Bolt. Both of these cards have had some very sharp increases in price, which, as we know, is not something that usually happens on release. What normally happens on release is cards start high and they come down, and we have cards in the set to give you as some examples. Bianca's Devotion was one that people, again, in pre-release paid way too much for, but as I always say, guys, there is no correlation between that card being worth money in Japan and it being worth money in English. It just doesn't work like that. The culture is very different. The English waifu cards, as we like to put them, don't hold that same value, and that card has dropped massively in value, as you can see from these graphs here on TCG Player. We've also seen the same thing happen with some of the other SIRs in the set. Even the Iron Boulder, which wasn't a valuable card at the start, that's come down a little bit in value as well. We've also seen big price changes in A-spec cards, which are new to some people, but obviously these are cards that came out back in the black and white era and around before. Now, these cards have seen some, they were kind of all sitting similar price, but there have been some big price changes. Most of these have slightly gone down, but there is one of these that is sort of holding a slightly higher value, and that is the Prime Catcher. But that has a reason. This is playable. This is something that is replacing the Escape Rope, I believe, which is out of rotation. So most people need to buy this Prime Catcher to go in their deck. And for that reason, it is holding some weight when it comes to its value. And probably understandably, because we've got EUIC around the corner and other tournaments, and then eventually Worlds coming in August, people need to get hold of this card to be able to put it in their deck, because most decks are going to have it in it. So you can understand the correlation between that card holding a sort of unique value in the sense of it just being a trainer card, but it's what, anything between 20 and 30 pounds is what you can kind of pick it up for. If we're doing pounds, I think dollars, it's actually quite similar in dollars, about 20 to 30 dollars you can get it. I think I've seen as high as 35, but most of the time you're about to get it near that 20. But that kind of makes sense because it's playable. But what doesn't make sense is the price on the Raging Bolt and Iron Crown. Both of these cards have seen some sharp increases in value, and the Iron Crown is the biggest one here that has a lot of issues that I don't really like, but we'll focus on the Raging Bolt first. Now, this has obviously seen a price rise, but as PCTCG Radio mentions, it's not actually massively playable. Like, it's pretty playable, but it's not like the best card that's been released regards to playability and stuff like that. This card has seen a sharp rise in price, not because of playability, because the way I look at it is if that price had gone up in playability, then look, the standard EX version, that would go up massively as well, because people would just buy that one for their deck. And actually, if you do want either of the cards we're mentioning for deck, always don't need to get the SIR. That's a flex thing to do. Just buy the standard EXs if you want these cards for your deck. As you can see, the Raging Bolt has seen that rise. I think this is market manipulation. That's what's happened here. It doesn't take a lot to do. Basically, all you need is a couple of your mates. You need to list the cards on eBay. You need a mate of yours to go and buy the card at 3-4 times the amount of money. Sellers who are currently selling it will see that last sold, and they'll all up their price. They might not go to the same price it sold for, but they'll up it, and it just kind of snowballs from there, and the manipulation goes up. We actually saw this happen in the past with the Machamp from Astral Radiance. Very similar thing happened when I did the original top 10 list of that set. The Machamp was, I think it was 40, 50 quid or something around that price, and it went to well over £100 like overnight. People go, oh, you've got the wrong number one card. That's not the number one card. It's the Machamp. I was like, I don't get that. It's been consistently selling low. And I looked, and it sold, 2 of them had sold for like 200 quid, which forced the market up. If you look now, that card has tanked again in value because the market was manipulated. People upped the price of the card just to get theirs to keep selling. You know, it's a bit of a frustrating thing because it doesn't actually take a lot to manipulate the market. And that's why I think whenever you're looking at solds on a card, don't just look at the last one. Take a little bit of a look back in the scale, and if you notice a really big anomaly in price rise, that's normally something a little bit dodgy going on there, to be honest with you. And the one that's seen the biggest amount of dodginess going on, to be fair with you guys, is definitely this Iron Crown. This card absolutely skyrocketed. When you see the TCG player in it, that line is just like vertical. It just went whoop up. It's like, it's absolutely mad that that's happened. In no way is that to do with playability. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it is. I'm putting it out there. I don't think playability is any reason for this card to be going up like that. Because as I said, guys, you could just buy the standard EX version. The moves, nothing is different. It's purely the look of the card. And yeah, this is a good looking card. You know, got the cherry blossoms in it. But a good looking card doesn't skyrocket. There is other reasons. You don't go, well, that looks quite nice, it goes up. It would be more gradual as people want to get hold of it. You know, there are some other reasons people might mention that. It's pull rates, but again, you're not going to see such a sharp rise. And you would also see other cards in the set rise in value if that was the case. Why hasn't, for example, Gouging Fire had a massive spike in price? Why has all the SIRs in here, Morty's Conviction, for example, that card has not jumped in price? If it was to do with pull rates, why is that not shut up? You know, it just hasn't happened because these are clear manipulations of the market. People have gone on, and I think 2 cards sold on eBay for $200+ or pounds it was. I saw some images being shared around, and it set a precedent that everyone ramped it up. And it's false. The card is not worth that money. Quite simply put, the only cards worth over £100 or $100 are Charizards pretty much nowadays. That's kind of all you get with Scarlet and Violet era. If you look at other sets, the only high value cards are Charizards. Every other card is well below that $100. So why is Iron Crown going well over $100? It's purely because people have messed around with purchasing and price, and yeah, they're trying to drive the market up, I think, on these cards. That is my honest opinion. I'm going to put my neck out here and say that within the next 2 months, that card will be well below £100 again. That's my honest thoughts on it. What do you guys reckon? Do you think that this is clear market manipulation, or do you think that the value of this card is valid? Is that what you honestly believe? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Other than that, I do want to say thank you very much for watching. And I do want to let you know that if you want to pull that incredibly, expensive Iron Crown, then make sure to tune into my live stream tomorrow night here on YouTube, because I'm actually opening a box of Temporal Forces and giving the packs away for free to you guys that watch that live stream. So if you want a free pack and a chance to pull that massively valuable card, make sure to hit that subscribe button here on the channel and come and tune in. It should be good fun tomorrow night, 8:30 or something like that. We'll rip a box and we'll see what we can hunt down. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out my original top 10 list of Temporal Forces, where Iron Crown was more at the price it should be, guys. And make sure to subscribe here to the channel up here. Hit a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Stay safe. See you in the next one. Peace.